Ghana, it's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Citi Prime News. The news is live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. I am Zoe Abubeiduado. Coming up, Ghana marks National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving across all regional capitals, aimed to bring the nation together in spiritual reflection, unity and renewed hope.
I look forward in my lifetime to see a new Ghana. A Ghana where our sons and daughters will not line up in any embassy for visa to travel out of the shores of this country. Let the city thrive under your leadership. Let things get better and better and better.
Also coming up, Health Minister urges University of Ghana management to improve COVID-19 communication to avoid fear and panic.
The communication also for how we communicate is also very important. We don't create vacuum. If you create the vacuum, people will fill the vacuum with speculations.
Still ahead, Tertiary Education Workers Union declares indefinite strike over governing council disputes.
God willing, Thursday on the 3rd July 2025, we are all assembled in Kumasi together with our members and declared an indefinite strike.
And later, we'll hear from the GRA, which insists the introduction of multiple fiscal measures today is not a coordinated attempt to burden the public.
It's purely coincidental. GRA has been preparing for these taxes for a very long time.
The news is live across a number of our partner stations. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrady. In the Bono region, we're on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani, Ashanti region, Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi. We are also on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajivu and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hoho. We are also live on YouTube on Citi FM's YouTube page, as well as our Facebook and Twitter handles.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your time this afternoon. Now, the Assistant Commissioner of Research and Policy at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dr. Alex Combat, says the rollout of multiple taxes and prices adjustments today is purely coincidental. Several fiscal measures, including the modified tax system for the informal sector, the extension of the plastic excise tax, 15% VAT on non-life insurance, and hikes in electricity and fuel prices take effect from today. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Dr. Combat noted that these policies have been in the pipeline for years, particularly after the lifting of COVID-era tax reliefs.
It's purely coincidental. GRA has been preparing for these taxes for a very long time. You see, when you take the informal sector taxes, for instance, we had what we call the tax stamp. That was the stamps that were given to the informal sector players to be placed on their shops. It has been with us for a very long time. Unfortunately, when we had the COVID, there was suspension of the tax. And then I think 2021, 2022, thereabout, it was lifted. So 2022, up to date, it has been education, trying to educate people on the modified taxation. So when the suspension was lifted, we decided not to collect the tax in the traditional way. So we decided to do the modified taxation, which I've just explained. So for the past 3 years, it has been education. So this is the right time that we feel we can actually implement the tax.
That was the Assistant Commissioner of Research and Policy with the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dr. Alex Komba. Meanwhile, the president of the Ghana Plastics Manufacturing Association, Eboboche, has described the implementation of the 5% excise tax on locally manufactured plastics as counterproductive. He explained that the tax, which takes effect today, could harm the sector's competitiveness. Mr. Boche is therefore urging President Mahama to reconsider the decision.
We've engaged the Ministry of Finance. We had come up, since last year, we did come up with, for us, a better proposal that would probably even bring much more revenue than the 5% on the locally manufactured product. And it's just like dilly-dallying in there. So we've gotten to a stage. We want to be law-abiding as far as the tax laws are concerned. We have no choice than to start implementing. It is 5%. On record, it's supposed to be 5%. But then we have what we call tax on tax. So we'll tax the VAT, we'll tax the NHIS, we'll also tax the Get Fund and any other accompanying tax. So cumulative, it comes to 7%. And we are still hoping, Bernard, that government will probably reconsider. We've sent a petition to the President, His Excellency, the President. We are hoping that government will call us in, probably still put it on hold, and then see a better way of going about it.
Eboboche is the president of the Ghana Plastics Manufacturing Association. Responding to this particular concern, the Assistant Commissioner of Research and Policy at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dr. Alex Kombat, asserted that the plastic excise tax is not new. He explained that it has only been expanded to cover plastic packaging and locally manufactured plastics to ensure proper management of such products.
This tax has been in existence for a very long time. It was first passed in 2010. So when it started, it was 20% on ex-factory price of plastic, and then in 2012 it was reduced to 15%, and then 2013 it was reduced to 10%. So actually it was being imposed that you pay 10%. So since 2013 it has been 10% on plastics imported. But 2023 there was an amendment to that law. So we had excise duty amendment number 2. That was 1108, and 1108 was just to broaden the tax net, and so it included plastics that are actually packed in or items that are actually packed in plastic, which hitherto were not being taxed.
That was the Assistant Commissioner of Research and Policy with the Ghana Revenue Authority, Dr. Alex Kombat. The Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana, TUGH, has declared an indefinite strike effective Thursday, July 3. The action follows a directive from the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission allowing a rival union, TUC, to represent non-teaching staff on the governing councils of public universities, a move TUGH strongly opposes. The union had already issued a 7-day ultimatum to authorities but says it received no satisfactory response. Chairman of the union's KNUST chapter, Charles Arthur, told Citi News that members will not back down until their concerns are fully addressed.
We have not had any update. We have learned from a grapevine source that the Minister of Education want to meet with us this week. But today is Tuesday. As a national officer, we have not received any written or verbal information from him inviting us to a meeting. And therefore, our national executive, we have decided that, God willing, Thursday, this coming Thursday on the 3rd July 2025, we are all assembled in Kumasi together with our members and declared an indefinite strike. The only thing that we have seen that the Labour Commission has written to GTEC to respond to our demands, our letter to them. You understand? Which they copied, but we have not heard anything. As a result of that, we think that we have followed the law. It is enough. And then the members at this point think that there must be the strike.
That was the chairman of the KNUST chapter of the Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana, and that is Charles Arthur. Away from that, the Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, says the use of local languages in parliamentary proceedings will boost the confidence of some members of parliament and enable them to express themselves more effectively. His comments follow Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagwin's announcement that local languages will soon be permitted during deliberations as part of efforts to preserve Ghana's cultural identity in national discourse. Speaking to Citi News, Dr. Rahman noted that the initiative will encourage greater participation from MPs who struggle to communicate fluently in English.
Well, I guess that's a challenge that they would have to address when the program is being rolled out. Because even the English language, we know that what is written in our constitution sometimes is subject to different kinds of interpretations. So that is unavoidable. I guess that would be part of perhaps maybe what Parliament would have to take into account so that people are as clear as possible, or where there is doubt, maybe they can repeat that sentence in the English language or that phrase or that word. But certainly, yes, I think that this might be one problem, and there will be many other problems that I believe that will be tasked by the Right Honourable Speaker. The experts in languages might anticipate and find ways of dealing with them. By and large, I think this will improve the representation function of MPs. It will also help a lot of MPs to become visible and be active in parliamentary deliberations than they have been at the moment.
That was the Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman. Anti-corruption crusader Vitus Azim has described the culture of allowing public officials to purchase state assets upon leaving office as an unnecessary cost to the nation. His comments follow allegations against former GEHOC Managing Director Maxwell Kofi Juma, who was arrested over claims of vehicle theft and later granted bail. Lawyers for Mr. Juma maintain that the vehicle in question was legally acquired in line with his conditions of service. Speaking to Citi News, Mr. Azim said such policies must be reviewed and company assets properly valued to safeguard public resources.
One time the government placed a ban on public officers taking four-wheel drives away from their employment. If anything at all, at least one vehicle should be allowed, and the price must be reasonable. To just take it at a giveaway price, it doesn't make sense, especially if you have to replace it for the next person, the person taking over from you. It's unnecessary cost to the state. The assessment by STC or whatever institution is important. But the danger is this. There are some public officers who will purchase a vehicle and just park it in the garage and be using other office vehicles. And then when they are leaving, they go asking to buy that other car. It's unconscionable. But I even think that it's not proper to put in the condition of service because at the time the person is going, it will depend on the availability of other vehicles for his or her successor to use, and then the financial state of the institution. So it should be possible, but it should not be put in the condition of service because now you are obliged to allow the person to take a vehicle away.
Anti-corruption crusader Vitus Azim. Now, the Ministry of Health is urging the University of Ghana's management to reduce bureaucratic delays in reporting critical information to the ministry, essential for tackling the spread of COVID-19 on campus. The sector minister, Kwabena Mintah Kando, stressed that prompt and clear communication between the university management and the ministry is crucial for effectively containing the virus within the community. During a working visit to the University of Ghana, Kwabena Mintah Kando commended the management for their efforts in controlling the spread of the virus, but warned that communication gaps between stakeholders could lead to misinformation, causing fear and panic.
Anytime you think that you need our assistance, we are just a phone call away. Let's cut the bureaucracies and then go straight to the point to tackle the issues before it gets out of hand. What I will want to plead with you is probably to improve upon the collaboration, the relationship, so that sometimes we must all be part of how we communicate some of these issues, because you are all aware how the public has developed interest in this matter. So sometimes the communication also for us, how we communicate is also very important. We don't create vacuum if you create the vacuum, people will fill the vacuum with speculations. And so going forward, let's build on the collaboration, the relationship. Anytime you get anything, let's know and see how we can come in to manage the situation and how we can also contribute to the communication.
Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando. Meanwhile, the University of Ghana management has defended the suspension of all social gatherings on campus, stating that recent Hall Week events contributed to the resurgence of COVID-19.
Basically, gatherings that were non-essential for academic work, we suspended those for the time being. Students are not happy with us, but as management, we need to do what we need to do. In fact, the background of this particular outbreak seems to be one of those artist nights where we think there was some super spreading that took place, and afterwards, that's when we started to see the spike in cases. So obviously, we had to learn from that and to stop such programs from continuing until we brought this under control. Thankfully, I think with the steps that we've taken and with the support of the Ghana Health Service, the data that we see shows that it seems that the outbreak is slowing down. The rate of positivity is reducing, and we think that we are moving in the right direction. If we sustain the steps that we put in place over the next week or two, I think we should be back to pretty manageable levels, and we can get on with full academic work.
That's the Pro-Vice Chancellor for the University of Ghana, Professor Gordon Awandare. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. We are live on a number of our affiliate stations. In the northern region, we're on Radio Bimbala 91.9 FM. In the upper east region, Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the upper west region, we're on Tonsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM. Still ahead, Ghana marks National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving across all regional capitals, aimed to bring the nation together in spiritual reflection, unity, and renew hope.
I look forward in my lifetime to see a new Ghana. A Ghana where our sons and daughters will not line up in any embassy for visa to travel out of the shores of this country. Let the city thrive under your leadership. Let things get better and better and better.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting, or private social event? The Alisa Pavilion has an unmatched capacity. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences, product launches, weddings, social events, and exhibitions. There are 2 executive boardrooms set up for your high-profile meetings. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and Bistro on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday, while you enjoy a whopping 15% discount. Make a date for Saturday Barbecue, where we have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns, while you savor lip-smacking dishes. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created. Alisa Hotels, our Kwaba means more than just welcome.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we are there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us Because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of Black Stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for staying with us on the Citi Prime News. Let's now turn our attention to the inaugural edition of Ghana's National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, which was held across the country. Now, this new initiative was designed to bring the nation together in spiritual reflection and unity. The event attracted religious leaders, political figures, civil society organizations, and members of the general public. The founder and general overseer of the Action Chapel International, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, leading a prayer session, called on President John Dramani Mahama to lead a bold transformation agenda that will strengthen the economy and unite the nation under a clear long-term development vision.
I look forward in my lifetime to see a new Ghana. A Ghana where our sons and daughters will not line up in any embassy for visa to travel out of the shores of this country for greener pastures. But that our sons and our daughters will be born, raised, schooled, educated, and live and work and flourish and thrive within the borders of Ghana, and will only travel outside for vacation and holidays, but not to go and see greener pastures. All that we will see that day come. And Mr. President, I know that you don't have too many years ahead of you like Singapore had. But Jesus fulfilled his mission in 3 years. And the Bible said all things are possible to him that believes. And that with God nothing shall be impossible. And as a believer, it is also said that you can do all things, Mr. President, through Christ who strengthens you. So, Mr. President, within 3 years, make a difference. Impact this well. Change the narrative of Ghana. Let the city thrive under your leadership. Let the city flourish under your leadership. Let things get better and better and better under your leadership like never before.
That was Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, who's the founder and general overseer of Action Chapel International. Meanwhile, chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyameche, offered prayers urging leaders to foster an environment that discourages corruption.
Corruptions of all sorts, bribery, over-invoicing and under-invoicing, corruption of our water bodies, air pollution, deforestation, immorality, deviant sexual behavior, false judgment, illegal mining, illegal connection, and nepotism, and what have you. All these are corruption. We want to pray. May God grant leaders at all levels to create an environment that is hostile to corruption.
That was the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyameche. Now, President John Dramani Mahama, while appealing for strong national unity, warned against tribal and political conflict. Speaking at the public event, he indicated that such acts will undermine Ghana's progress and nature of governance.
They have strengthened us in our shared identity. This is a precious gift we must protect. Let us remain vigilant against the voices of tribalism, against the voices of religious extremism, and against the poison of political hostility. These are the seeds of division that we must never let take root in our precious nation, Ghana. We must speak a language of peace, compassion, and mutual respect. We must build bridges, not barriers, for we are one people, sharing one land, and pursuing one identity and destiny. But let us also remember this, that true thanksgiving is not spoken only with the lips, It must be lived in our very lives.
He further stated that the office of the president is not above the law and will remain accountable to the people.
Even the office of the president, which by the grace of God I now hold, is not above the law. Leadership must be grounded in justice, in honesty, and a reverence of God. If we want a just Ghana, we must be just in leadership. A nation's greatness is not measured by the heights of its skyscrapers or the size of its budget. The values of its people are the true measure of a nation's greatness. The virtues of courage, of honesty, of discipline, of sacrifice, and compassion are what really measure the greatness of any nation. It is in these quiet strengths that the true power of our country, Ghana, resides. It is through these virtues that we will rise and prosper.
That was President John Dramani Mahama speaking at the Christian Interdenominational Service of Ghana's National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving at the forecourt of the State House. I must add that currently ongoing is the Islamic prayer session being held at the National Mosque. Now, we'll still stay on the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, this time to the Ashanti region, where the regional minister, Dr. Frank Amakohene, is urging residents to seek divine intervention through prayer to cleanse the nation of corruption, moral decline, and other setbacks to development. He spoke at the Calvary Charismatic Center in Kumasi.
We want a country that is firmly grounded in faith and in belief in God. And the scripture came, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I'll forgive their sins and I'll heal their land. As we are gathered here today, we pray that God heals our land from all the rots, from all the corrupt activities, from all the things that destroy this country. And we seek that God gives us one heart of purpose, of unity that will drive our national developmental agenda.
Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amakohene. Away from the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving now, the Executive Director of People's Dialogue Forum, Farouk Brahma, has criticized the lack of policy direction to upgrade slums in Ghana. Recent data from the Ghana Statistical Service indicates some 4.8 million people live in slums, representing 30.8% of Ghana's urban population. The figure surpasses the global average of 24.7%. The Slums and Informal Settlements in Ghana report explained that households exhibit slum characteristics if it lacked access to improved drinking water, improved sanitation, durable housing, and sufficient living spaces. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Farouk Brahma called for a coordinated stakeholder approach to upgrade slums in the country.
These are issues that we will need to have a more frontal and coordinated approach to, get the policy running, get the districts to do that. And then I believe some education is required, but it is poverty. It is exclusion. It is about power. It's about what our elites want to see happening on the ground. And they use these kinds of basic service and lack of services to canvass for votes and elections and power. And you find politicians who would want to use, I will provide you water. It's so basic. And then they want votes because they will be providing you water or toilets. I'm sorry, but that is the problem. It has become one of the assets that politicians and elites use in the clientelist mood to get votes from the poor people. So keep them poor and continue to provide them some promises of giving them some water somewhere, and then they vote for you in return.
That was the Executive Director of the People's Dialogue Forum, Farouk Brahma. And that's all for this edition of the City Prime News, which came to you live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. Before we go, a quick recap of some of our headlines. Ghana marks National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving across all regional capitals, aimed to bring the nation together in spiritual reflection, unity, and renewed hope. And we also brought you a story where the Health Minister urged the University of Ghana management to improve COVID-19 communication to avoid fear and panic. You can log on to our website, citynewsroom.com, For more news, I am Zoe Abubeduado. Many thanks for listening.
City News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.